Go. Got it.
Got it.
No, I got to take it off of here as soon as it comes up. Redirecting YouTube. Go. Got it. All right. Taking that off. Heads up, your page experience just going to be unlocked new ways for your page sketch and grow its audience. Where is that? I don't know where that is. That's Facebook. All right. We're going to go back to the meeting. We're back at the meeting. We're live on YouTube. That's great. Let me quick go to YouTube and I'm going to share the live to Twitter. Let's share live to Twitter on went there, went here. Live. Let's see. There we are. Live to Twitter. Oh, so I'm going to do this. I don't actually know where I can, if I can, I wasn't able to share this. It's right. I tried, but it didn't. Yeah, I was just, I'll get out of that. All right, out of that.
Yeah, I gotta, when we get off of here, I gotta cut out because I got a 4 a.m. with a 4:45 departure in the morning.
What?
I got a 4:45 a.m. departure in the morning.
Car or flying?
No, job. I gotta be on the job at 6 a.m., but I gotta leave my house here at 4:45.
Yeah, which I get, but it sounded like you were gonna
No. Yeah, I was just, the departure kind of threw you, yeah. Look at that shag carpet, man.
What shag carpet? What you talking about?
Your beard, man, it's thick, growing on out there.
Yeah, you haven't seen me in a while, have you?
I know it.
All right, I got to get this skip ads. 3, 2, 1. Get it back up. All right, here we go. Skip ad. All right, I got that back up. That's ready to go. We're ready to go. Now I'm going to go the live, and then we got to see what we got to adjust the camera for. All right, I'm going to hit live, and hopefully everybody can see both of us. We went live. We're live on Facebook tonight, everybody, because I did announce this. So 8:30 live on Facebook. Welcome everybody joining us. Remember,
Welcome everybody.
Why don't you, while I share it to the groups, why don't you explain how the process is going to work? Okay, so we're gonna take a poll of
I have no earthly idea.
Right. So what we're going to do is in the comment section, people have to comment, but they also have to comment about the 4 bourbons behind you, which one they want us to open. So through the comments, we'll come up with a poll of who wants what the most. So out of the comments, that's Parker Heritage, Double Oak, there's Old Fitzgerald 19, George T. Stagg, and Pappy.
Parker's Heritage, the double barrels, which is their latest edition, I believe the 16th edition. And then we have the Old Fitzgerald 19-year, which is the fall edition and the latest edition of the Old Fitzgerald releases. And it is actually the oldest of the releases too. And we have a 2019 George T. Stagg, 116.9 proof. And we also have a Van Winkle Special Reserve 12-year bourbon. One of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what it's
And
going to
so,
be, what they got to do is they got to comment which one they want us to open, or
Now-
which one they want you to open.
Yeah,
'Cause
which one
I
they
don't
want
have that here.
want me to open, and I'm going to open it live. And also, when you comment what bourbon you want to open, I'm going to write your name down, or actually I'm going to put your name into a randomizer, and right near after I open it and pour up a little pour of it, I'm going to hit that randomizer with all the names of everybody that commented on the post. And that one lucky person will get a 2-ounce pour sample sent to them if they send me their information. And then they'll get to, I'll send Jeff or Tiny a sample of it. And then we'll all be able to do a little review of it on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, and we'll send it to them, whoever wins, and they can be on the podcast if they choose to be.
If they choose to be.
But it's all about commenting, correct?
That's right. You
So
gotta comment in to win. That's all you got to do.
Right. And I'm quick saving to all the bourbon clubs. I'm in a bunch of new ones, so I know I'm going to get yelled at tonight, but that's okay, right?
Absolutely.
That's what happens to us, right? We get yelled at, correct?
That's right.
But then also let's talk
like
about
the negative with the positive, don't we? Hey, it's great to see you, Tiny. It's been quite a while since I've been here. I've been working steadily since I left the holidays from up there in Kentucky, Ohio and Kentucky. I have just been on fire, which is my business, is to put out the fire. But yeah, everybody's been wanting fire protection, and so it's been good, and been working a whole lot. So, and I imagine you have been too, been doing a lot of recycling.
It's been very, very, what would you say? Tedious.
All right.
That would be the way I would use it. But I'm almost through going through signing these. I'm trying to get everybody. I don't know why the thing is messed up, and I don't even know if I'm actually posting. Why don't you check to see if a couple of the groups actually have it up live? Because it seems it's not telling me it's posted. It just seems to be, I don't know. You just check that out. We just got to get this going tonight. I would like to get Wisconsin, Central Ohio, my class. I think I'm close to being done. Yeah, Kentucky Bourbon Fest. All right. So there I've shared. So hopefully enough people. We're on live YouTube and we're sharing on Facebook. We're getting ready to go. I got it shared. So let's get out of this, back into the YouTube play. Yep, that's ready to go. I'm going to put on my headphones and we're going to get this. Do you see anything in like any of the big groups? I believe like Bourbon Junkies or Bourboner. It seems like we got a lot of people right now. Then tonight, along with the opening of, while we're talking and you comment, I mean, commenting tonight is the most important thing. You want to be on the Jeffrey Mueller because that picks up the comments live. So if you're friends of mine, or you just go to Jeffrey Mueller, you could tell my Facebook page.
And Bourbon Junkies.
No?
No.
All right, let's see if I could get that thing to pop up right now. I'll hit share to a group. Let's see. I'm gonna just pick them out.
I don't see that you're live on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on live on mine.
Oh, all
What
right.
about the Scotchy Bourbon Boys? I shared it to that. There's the Junkies. Share. All right. Are you in the Junkies?
Yeah.
I just shared it to the Junkies. So it says only 19 shares. I shared it to like 100. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't like to always. I'm not sure if my internet is a little bit funky. It can't be funky because I'm actually running this. You could see us. You could see Super Nash. Let's see. He is right here.
Yeah. Here we
I'm
are.
checking that out. That's it. I'm going to show you Super Nash. Say hi to Super Nash right there.
What's
And
up?
then, yeah, not at Junkies. Why don't you share the live from Jeffrey Mueller to the groups too? And while you're doing that, I'll get the podcast going. All right. Okay, so really quick, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Welcome to the pre-podcast. We haven't started the actual podcast, but tonight's special, we're doing that special. We're gonna do a new crack of one of those bottles that is in the background by Super Nash right back here. It is let's see. It is a Van Winkle 12-year, a George T. Stagg, an Old Fitzgerald 19-year, or a Parker Heritage double-barreled. We went through that. We'll go through it one more time when we get going on the podcast. But if you comment tonight which one you want us to open, we're going to tally the comments. And whoever comments, they want the Pappy, the George T. Stagg, the Old Fitzgerald, or the Parker Heritage. We'll add them up, and that's the one who wins is the one we're going to crack. So make sure that you comment which one you want. And then what we're going to do is once we open that up, we are going to do a randomizer of all the comments. And I'm not sure if we're going to do that randomizer live or we're going to finish up and then we're going to get the comments, because a lot of times when we finish up doing this, for whatever reason, there's a ton of comments in the comment section, but then we will randomize it and notify the one of the people who commented that they are qualified to receive a sample pour of the bottle that we picked to open tonight. So that's really kind of cool. And then we'll send that off and invite you to be on a future podcast if you want. Either or you could just drink your sample, but we'll from that we are going to do a podcast and do a tasting of that particular sample. And it's like, this is you guys choose tonight. So you could do that on YouTube also. Before the end, we'll monitor that YouTube and we'll get it going. Well, also, I'd like to, this is where for the Facebook Live and the YouTube people, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys are sponsored. I forgot to put us on the air. I'm going to put us on the air. Watch this, Super Nash. This is a new thing in the podcast. Here it comes. We're on air. Did you see that? You see that back there? On air. Right up there. We are on air. So all right. So our sponsors, the Spirit of French Lick down in French Lick, Indiana, West Baden. Go down there and check out the Spirit of French Lick Winery and Distillery. When you're there, stop by, say hi to Alan Bishop or Old Dale Bishop. And is it Justin also, or is it Jason? It's Jason or Justin? Super Nash. No,
Sure.
They're Alan's assistant. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I would totally. I don't even know.
I think it's Justin. I really do.
Justin.
But yeah. Anyways, but stop in and say hi. They're there making fantastic whiskey all along. The Spirit of French Lick is one of our sponsors. This month, this quarter, they put out the Solomon Scott rye whiskey bottled in bond, and also the Old Clifty brandy. Plus, there's a bunch of distillery releases coming up in the future, and then also there's going to be a barrel release from their gift shop that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys has been associated with. So, you know, when you're there, check out the Spirit of French Lick down in French Lick, Indiana. It's a great tour, great place to be. The city's fantastic when you're down there. Well worth the drive. You're going to get a really good distillery experience, and then also the area is just beautiful. And then also Log Still Distillery, Wally Lynn and Charlie Dant, the Log Still Distillery in Gethsemane, Kentucky, just about 15 minutes south of Bardstown. You drive down there, and it's Dant Crossing is a fantastic campus. They have done so much. Wally has done so much. Their event center's open. The train, dinner train ride and train station is open down there. They've got their amphitheater open. They just opened their main distillery. Their tasting room's open. It just keeps getting better and better. There's, you know, they've got their bed and breakfast, which is open, and then also other rooms that have just opened up. Stay there. You can stay, eat. Now they're working on their restaurant at the moment. I think that's going to be late 2023 or early 2024 for opening. And then also they have walking trails, a beautiful lake that they basically allowed the spring right there on property to refill. And then what's coming is there's going to be hotels and stay. And I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing campus. Wally, Lynn, and Charlie, they've done a spectacular thing. We were just down there recently getting a bunch of footage of the distillery. The distillery is amazing, what they're going to be doing. I can't wait for those next couple of years to start drinking what's coming off that still. And so check out Log Still Distillery.
Yeah,
And then,
we got to drink a little bit of what was coming off that still when we were there.
Strawberries and bananas on that.
Yeah. Wow, that was amazing.
Yep. And then
who would have thought, and the proof, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, and then also Alan Bishop, who is the master distiller at the Spirit of French Lick, also he sponsors us personally. He does One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube that you got to check out. For anybody who wants to know anything about distilling, Alan gets nerdy as hell on there. He gets down to yeast strains. Any question, he answers questions that people give him all the time, and he answers them on two different levels. He can answer them on a home distilling level, and he also can answer them on a commercial distilling level. He's well versed in it all. He's got experience. He's got the personality. And that leads me to his other endeavor that we promote is if you have ghosts, you have everything. It is a supernatural, alien, conspiracy, complete, total podcast. So if you get a chance, check out If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Very fun podcast that he does it with his wife, Kimberly. And it's well worth checking out. So we are getting ready to get going. You ready to get going?
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, make sure you start commenting. Let us know which one you want us to open and send out that sample to the winner. It is the Pappy Van or the Van Winkle 12-year, the George T. Stagg, the Old Fitzgerald 19-year, and the Parker Heritage Double Barrel. Let us know in the comments. But as of right now, we are going to start the podcast. Thank you.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on scotch. We get a little wild, but it sure is fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew, and we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
Oh,
Woo! All right, we are back.
Everybody.
We are back for another exciting podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We are getting, I think this is almost 250 podcasts, which is amazing. But tonight we have a special podcast. We've got Super Nash here in the house. How's it going, Super Nash?
All right. What's up, everybody?
And then
Great to be here.
we've got this special podcast. So he's going to tell you all about what's happening. We're going to do it quick. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, so he's doing it for them. As far as our normal podcast listeners, we might even throw in, if you listen to the podcast and you're listening on one of the major podcast formats, which is Instagram, the podcast formats, which is Apple, iHeart, Alexa, Siri, what is it, Deezer, any of your podcast formats, whatever you're listening to, the audio. I might be able to convince Super Nash if we come up for something where during the next week, if you contact us, let us know you listen to the podcast. We might put you in for the randomizer and send off what would you say? A sample off to you on our audio podcast so that you can then be a part of a podcast up and coming. What do you think about that, Super Nash? Or is that too many samples that we're sending out on that bottle?
To who? What? Where?
So right now we're live and we're doing it for the live people. Right? We're doing it for the live people. YouTube,
Yep.
Facebook, we're doing it. And the way that you do it for them is that if you comment on what you want us to open, and then we're going to basically add it up of who got the most comments, correct? And
Yep.
then we're going to open that bottle, but we're going to send a sample out to one of the people that was commenting. We're going to randomize their name. But what about the people who are listening, right? They listen to the podcast regularly. If they, we'll give them, contact us on Facebook, tell us you listen to the podcast regularly, and then we'll collect their names and send a sample to one, and randomize that during the week and send a sample off to one of them to be a part of the podcast too.
Sure. Let's go for it.
I'll take care of that one. All right.
Long as you take care of you getting the person's name.
Yeah. So everybody who's listening right now, we have a bunch of listeners. Make sure I'm going to hit into there that you comment. Okay. So I'm right now. It's like, okay. So make sure. All right. Matthew McGuire has said that he wants the Van Winkle 12-year so far. And
Michael Bird has said he wants the Parkers.
Yeah, and then there you go, and he's qualified, and he said hello, and then what's the show about? That was Mark. Yeah, well, that Mark Beckler was asking what the show is about, and David Riley is in it to win. So you guys, and Mike McGuire. So everybody who's tuning in and do that, comment on the one of the 4 bourbons behind. If you're live, I'm pointing right to the screen. And you comment on one of the and wait, I gotta go this way. Okay, so I'm pointing over there. That's Super Nash's bourbon. Then he's pointing over there, and comment on one of those, the Pappy Van Winkle or the Van Winkle 12-year, the George T. Stagg, the Old Fitzgerald 19-year, and the Parker Heritage. Double
barreled.
Yep. And Chris Thompson, CT, he wants the Pappy 23. That's not one of them.
Yeah.
So you give that comment, do it. We'll add it up. Whoever wins, whatever one wins is the one we're going to crack. We're going to be on here for a little bit, and then we'll take everybody who commented, whether you voted or not, and put you in a randomizer, and then notify you that you have qualified for a sample of the bottle that we crack. So, Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we're on all the major social medias. Right now, we're live on YouTube and Facebook, but we're also on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So check us out on all those formats also. And then remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. You could check that out. Someone just bought an order of bourbon balls going to California. So check out the bourbon balls. We've got the t-shirts and we've got the Glencairns all for sale on the website. Plus, you could support us through Patreon. Check out the Patreon in the top right-hand corner of the website. Click that button and you can find everything Patreon. I am getting close to updating it for Scotchy Bourbon Boy barrel pick program. So that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we do another couple barrel picks in 2023. We're going to try to do that. We're getting ready to do it. It's the end of January and you got to get your shit together. So that's where we're at with that. Now, tonight, it's been a while, Super Nash. I mean, what have you've been working, but what else have you been up to? I mean,
I got Shane Thompson saying, "Hey y'all," from Eastern Kentucky. He's commenting on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys post of the
excellent
live page.
Yeah, you monitored that. And then Mark Beechler says the Van Winkle 12. So it looks like right now we've got 1, 2.
Where's the Mark
3
Beechler commenting from?
He's commenting on my live feed.
On your live feed.
Yeah. Did you get so just you keep
I'm not getting that comment. See, I gotta get his name.
But that's why what we might do is we might just keep track at whatever and keep track of what people are commenting, what we could follow. But then what we'll do is do a post and tell everybody afterwards, once we accumulate it and then do the randomizer, that afterwards we can let them know in the comment section of the live feed. We'll let them know. Okay.
I'm going to try. I'm doing it live. I've already got all these names in here. I'm going to do it live.
Do you got Mark?
Pop that bottle.
Well, then I'll have to give you mine off my live and you got off yours. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to drink it.
Your live feed.
But you said the Scotchy Bourbon Boys feed.
I just switched over to that because I just a few minutes ago. That's how I know it. That's how I know. I got his name on here. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Anyways, so tonight, one of the things that we've got is we're going to be doing I've got now. I see Mark Batchelor's name, so I got it.
Okay, perfect.
Keep them rolling.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Maybe it's like whoever's on, check us out. Make sure you
got to comment on your live feed here.
Yep, in the back of the, on the back. You could see us. You could see us on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, that's fine too. I will check that right at the end to make sure there's no if there's comments on there before he does that. But we are monitoring the live feed right now. And but that gets us back to the podcast, right? So Lime Stone Branch. Let's talk about Lime Stone Branch. It's The distillery, I've been isolating on distilleries each and every podcast. Coming up. Oh, no. Hello. How did I do that? That's not fair. All right. It looks like it just completely cut out as far as the podcast itself. It looks like, is it paused? Okay.
Hey, Chris, just want to let you know
Play.
your comment got your name in there.
We're recording. All right. Let me see. Let's see if I can. There.
Patch it
All
back
right.
together.
Yeah, we're back. Is it still? Yeah, we're recording. I did not. Everything. Oh, God. You touch things and things go crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I am recording and it says we're recording. Good. All right. I think I pushed too hard to get to on the laptop, and it pushed down and effed up the connection, but I got the connection back. So Lime Stone Branch is a very, very unique distillery. You gotta know that, right?
Absolutely.
We've been down there many times. Super Nash and I have been down there, and we've seen Stephen Beam multiple times. We've podcast directly on 9:30 in the morning from the distillery, and the distillery, since we've been going down there, has gone through so many changes. Initially, Limestone Branch was Limestone Branch. It was purchased by it partnered up with Luxco.
Yeah.
And the Yellowstone brand, Luxco, and Stephen Beam, that became the project for them. And they were distilling at the Limestone Branch, which is basically Limestone Branch is a craft distillery that when we were first going out was doing about a barrel a day.
No, they were an artisan distillery.
Yeah, definitely. But they were partnered with Luxco, and they were producing and distilling Yellowstone, the brand Yellowstone bourbon, which is an old brand in history. Now, Stephen, what he called it was a steward of he calls himself a steward of the brand. This brand, the Yellowstone brand, is seriously a national treasure as far as when it comes to a bourbon. But the unique history of Limestone Branch, and which I have right here, is Paul and Stephen Beam, who are direct Beam descendants of Jacob Beam and Jim Beam. I mean, so the Beams throughout history are a large family in the Bardstown, Kentucky area, and they have been distilling, but their family's large, and the distillery, the Jim Beam Distillery, did not need that many master distillers. So, for instance, the Parker heritage that you're talking about was Parker Beam, and he was at Heaven Hill for a long time, correct? And he's one of the Beam descendants, and he was the master distiller at Heaven Hill. So you've got a lot of Beams going into the mix at other distilleries. They've been everywhere. There's been Beams everywhere. Now you're drinking. Now what are you drinking right now?
And this is their
I'm drinking that too, right?
That's experimental collection. This is the malted red wheat bourbon
now that's the distillery selection. You did not give me that one.
Yeah,
I've
got this one.
This is from Happy Hour Liquor and Bar, which is,
and actually this bottle is signed by Stephen Beam.
Yeah, that's when we were down there, remember?
Yeah.
You were like all over that collection, and I was like, what is that? I have no idea. And you walked away, and then ever since we haven't been able to even touch it at the distillery.
Yep. Now this is what you're opening that I got you for Christmas.
Thank you.
This is actually a store pick distillery collection, experimental collection.
Right, and the experimental collection is it's 100%, and it's a really cool. If you look at the label on the back, you got some cool stuff going.
That is a cool label. Yeah, my label. There's my label on the back.
But yeah, so I opened it. I'm gonna get. It's been.
And since that's what you're drinking, I'm gonna pour the same thing in my Limestone Branch Glencairn.
You're going with Limestone Branch Glencairn. I've got one, but I'm going with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glencairn. I'm gonna really enjoy this now. This particular pick from the Liquor Barn, from Limestone. So this experimental series is actually the red wheat bourbon whiskey, and this is what's been distilled. This is part of the distilling history of Limestone Branch. This wasn't.
So you do have the red wheat.
Yeah, but it's the Happy Hour Liquor Barn red wheat whiskey bourbon, and let me see. It's 60% white corn, 28% red wheat, and 12% malted barley. It is 51.5 51.5 barrel entry, and then it's 49% ABV, which puts it at 98 proof. It is bottle 67, aged 44 months, and it is barrel number 3. Now, one of the things that they do at the Limestone, I'm not sure about this experimental, but I believe he used smaller barrels with the experimental collection. So 44 months is almost 4 years. But because it's in a smaller, you can hear that. Because it's in a smaller barrel, you're going to want to age it less. It takes less time because of the smaller surface area, because so much of the liquor in that barrel is hitting there's not as much of the in between as there is in a 53 gallon that there might be in a 15 or a 20 gallon or a 10 gallon or whatever, 30 gallon. I don't know exactly, but I know that's what they were doing. So this is once again, cheers, Super Nash. Here, put yours,
cheers, brother,
right there. Put yours over. Wait, it's disappeared. Chink. There you go. All right. Look at the legs on that.
Oh my gosh.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of toasted wheat, a little bit of cinnamon. I got to figure out what the rest is. That's really good. It reminds me a little bit of
like graham cracker and butterscotch.
Yep. So it was mashed, distilled, and aged in Kentucky to unique specifications. It's a single barrel. All right, let's see what it says here. Limestone Branch Distilling brings you this handcrafted small barrel bourbon made with 100% American Heartland grains, aged in new charred American oak. And Happy Hour Liquor just loves to put those really cool stickers on.
Yeah.
Everybody so that's pretty cool. Do we got anybody else? All right. We got some people. So just a reminder, everybody.
Really sweet.
Super Nash has 4 bottles back there. He's got the Van Winkle 12 year. He's got the George T. Stagg. He's got the Old Fitzgerald
19 year. And the Parker's Heritage double barreled.
Double barreled Parker Heritage double barreled. So, and all of them are high end bourbons. Just leave a comment. That's all you got to do is leave a comment. Comments are important. And once you got those comments, that'll enter you into the drawing. But if you want to pick which bourbon we're gonna pick, then make sure you can do that. So you can actually pick the bourbon that we're going to open and send out as so make sure you leave a comment now. so that gets us into the Limestone Branch history. So the history of Stephen Beam, he's a direct descendant of Jacob Beam. So Jacob Beam was born in 1770. He's Stephen and Paul's. Paul is Stephen Beam's brother. I've met him once. And I'm just trying to get this so that I'm getting some weird feedback, but I think I got it out. All right. So he was a farmer. He's the one that started. He's the same Jacob Beam that's responsible for Jacob's Well and Jim Beam products, and he's the descendant of Fred. He's a great grandpa of of Fred, and a great grandpa. You know, so he's part of the Beam family. Same, you know, and then he is Stephen and Paul's great uncle. That's who Jacob is. All right. So then that was in 1795. But in 1836, Joseph Washington Dance Distillery starts to do well. And Stephen and Joseph J.W. Dant is Stephen and Paul's great grandfather. On their mother's side, he prospered with his own distillery at Dance Station in Marion County. Their mother, Dottie, even worked at the distillery in high school. So there you go. Stephen and Paul's mom, Dottie, worked at the distillery, the Dant Distillery. Then in 1883, Minor Case took over the Gethsemane Distillery. And he is Stephen and Paul's great-grandfather. Minor Case he worked at the Early Times Distillery under the supervision of his uncle Jack. And then in 1883, he became the master distiller in his own right and bought out one of the partners at neighboring Gethsemane Distillery and renamed it Head and Beam. Then in 1934, the fifth generation of distilling begins. Minor Case, before he passed, bought his son Guy, Stephen and Paul's grandfather, into the business. Guy became a famous master distiller who worked at a number of distilleries, including Yellowstone. So Minor Case Beam had a son, Guy, who worked at the Yellowstone distillery. And then when Prohibition hit, he basically bailed and went to Canada, where he had his son, Jimmy. Now, Jimmy, which is, they call him Jimmy, but Jimmy Beam would be James Beam. It's not the Jim Beam, but there's a hell of a lot of Jim Beams in the Jim Beam family. There's no doubt about it. But their dad, Jimmy, worked at the distilleries in they said Stephen and Paul's dad contributed to the family legacy in his own way, working at Kentucky distilleries and playing baseball in the Bourbon League. So that's what Jimmy was doing. And then Stephen and Paul in 2010 opened up Limestone Branch Distillery. Now they opened it up, and it soon was partnered with Luxco, and that allowed them to bring the Yellowstone brand back into the picture. They were doing Minor Case Rye, and I believe they were doing their experimental, but they got the Yellowstone brand back up and running.
Yeah.
And then one of the things about the Yellowstone brand is that it's partnered with the national parks, just like it was initially. And it's raised since I believe 2018, $370,000 for the park, and another $50,000 on the side during the flooding of 2021. So they've done a lot of good things through Yellowstone, you know, the Yellowstone brand. But also then this past summer or spring, the MGP purchased Luxco, which that means they're partnered with MGP. So Limestone Branch has really evolved in the last 4 or 5 years, wouldn't you say, Super Nash? You there?
Yeah.
Your comment, you're just trying to keep these comments going?
Yep.
Okay, you're watching it?
Yep.
Oh, what happened? Something went wrong? Let's see. Did we go offline?
Mm-mm.
All right, let me see.
And we're still,
All right, it just said mine just said something went wrong, but that just could be because. All right, there we go. All right, Andy. Oh, great, thanks. So, what do you think of the store pick? Basically, happy hour liquor. I know when you bought this. Yeah,
yeah,
I came down with you, right? I
Yep.
think so. So this is pretty.
this is pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Woodford experimental series that they're doing.
Mhm.
It's got that nice. The wheat is very, very. It's almost like you're actually tasting some Wheaties. There's that little
Yeah.
bit. There's that there, and then there's some cinnamon for the spice. It drinks really nice.
Oh my gosh, what's that cinnamon? That cinnamon like cinnamon toast crunch.
There you go. That's probably
Actually no, it's not. It's like Life cereal. To me it tastes
Cinnamon
more like
Life?
Life cereal.
like a cinnamon life. Okay, I'll give you that
Yeah,
because
like
cinnamon
a
toast
Cinnamon
crunch.
Life cereal.
This isn't as sweet as cinnamon toast crunch. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
There's a grain aspect like
that's why. That's
yeah.
why it's more to me. It's more like Cinnamon Life cereal.
So I wonder what would happen if you like drank some milk right afterwards. It would be like almost like right on, right?
I don't think so.
So these experimental these experimental series that they do at Limestone Branch, they've been working on these for the start from the beginning, and it's really kind of a cool thing. They're available through the distillery gift shop if you go when they get released. But they have been really
and if you buy them
sought
when you're there.
What?
And
Yeah,
if you
and
buy
if
'em
you
when
buy
you're
them, yeah, it's just whatever. I just remember
I
seeing you go
also
like
picked up this rye, experimental rye when
Mhm.
we were there that day.
yeah, that's when I skipped on that.
Yeah, this was 100% malted rye. And it's really good too.
So what you're gonna get as a whiskey lover, you're gonna get those really cool experimental whiskey flavors. It's not going to be shooting to be the big Kentucky everyday bourbon. They're trying to make stuff that's unique and really kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now, and it's really, I'm excited because this is delicious. Thank you for a great what would you say, a great Christmas present. Thank you.
Mhm.
Also,
Cheers.
do you see my little sign back there? Tiny's bourbon tasting thing that whiskey
Yes,
got
I
me.
do.
Yeah, there it is. And
Yes,
then
I do.
then also we've got the line. I pulled the lineup out tonight. So I've got Minor Case, which is their rye.
I've got Minor Case t-shirt on.
There you go. And then I've got 3 barrel picks. And once again, you can see there's Stephen Beam's signature. And this barrel pick is my favorite. It's from their hand pick collection. So they do barrel picks. I believe these barrel picks for Yellowstone were actually distilled and put into barrels up in Louisville, and then they're picked and it becomes part, but they bring them down. They bring specific barrels down for barrel picks so you could do it at the Limestone Distillery. I think that's how that works. So I had a Liquor Barn pick at one point. I've had these picks, but then they also, they have their standard Yellowstone, there it is. And this is driving me nuts. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. It's working. And they have that. And then also they have, flip this around. It will be tiny. And then they also
Okay.
have their special
Special
distillery release, and it's a handcrafted Yellowstone, but these are finished in different barrels. And this particular one was finished in, I believe, Armagnac.
Armagnac.
An
barrel,
Armagnac,
yeah.
and I'm going to have that tonight because I actually have found that I think when it comes to finished bourbons, I really enjoy the Armagnacs. I don't know about you, but I've got 4 or 5 Armagnac finished bourbons, and every single one I absolutely love. I've got the Armagnac finish from we got well, there is an Armagnac finish from Bardstown Bourbon Company, isn't there? Don't you have that one, don't you? I believe.
Yeah.
But I got the go ahead.
No, go ahead. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I got the Old Elk Armagnac finished. I've got the Yellowstone Armagnac finish, and I believe there's the other Armagnac finished was the chicken cock, the French, the Chanticleer. I believe that's Armagnac finished. Am I right? I think so.
I don't know.
No,
because I don't have the
Chanticleer. No, Chanticleer is actually cognac finished.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
so I have the Armagnac finish from Middle West. So there's just so much out there as far as
Yeah.
finishing, but I'm really liking that lately. So
And 2023 is going to be an even bigger year, from what I gather.
for what are you talking about?
For releases from and new things coming out from the distilleries, you thought 2022 was big. Nah, it's only getting bigger and better every year.
Yeah,
as you can see, just because of the new partnerships being formed every day in this business, just as we found out that one of our friends went to Whiskey Thief Distilling. So,
yeah, congratulations, Kelly.
Kelly,
She actually, Kelly, won Moonshiner's Master Distiller. Yeah, she won the last current contest. She was, and then the announcement came out that she headed off to Whiskey Thief, and she's helping Hunter down there at Whiskey Thief. So it's so much fun meeting all the young people in this business, hanging out with them, and as they keep progressing through the ranks, it's just so much fun. It's kind of like, and then same thing with the distilleries. I think Luca Mariano, Log Still, we've pretty much been growing up with them. They keep moving along, but we were there from the beginning.
Yep.
Right?
Sure was.
Same thing with Greg Schneider. Greg Schneider, really super awesome master distiller, fantastic person. There's not much better people in the world than Greg.
Yeah.
And then you throw in, he's we've grown up with the Chicken Cock brand. There's no doubt about it. We've been there pretty much almost every step of the way, right?
Yep.
So
I can't believe we're not getting many comments on this thing.
We're not getting a lot of hits, that's for sure, tonight.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying we might just wait a little bit and see what happens, because usually eventually, but I don't know why. I'm going to take a look at my sharing here. We usually do that before we get on the actual podcast, and it's still recording. So that's good. Let's get off, and I'm just going to hit and see. You shared way more than 18 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only says on my Jeffrey Mueller share thing, it's only been shared 31 times. And that does not make sense. Share to a group. All right. Comment and win. Let's see if that works. All right. I'm gonna try doing a couple of the big guys. Let's see if that goes. Comment. See, it's not, I hit and it says posted, but I don't believe it's posting. So, you just never know you just never know what Facebook's going to do to you.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it to.
Well, I checked a couple of the groups and I never did see it posting in any of those groups live,
Do you think I'm just banned?
I know I got banned from a few.
All right. I did 6 more. Let's see what it says.
I got banned from a few for doing reels.
Yeah, you do stuff like that. I just don't understand why we're getting banned for doing reels. You share stuff about whiskey, right?
Yeah.
See, yep, only 31. So I go and it still says, all right, I'm going to look. Mark Beecher is watching with you again. So there's some guys. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to look. I'll try and update this. Let's just get out of the Facebook app and come back. It's almost like sometimes that's what you got to do, right? Get out of the app and come back.
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
This is it's a lot of fun. Bear with us on the regular podcast. Here we go, Jeffrey Mueller. Let's see if those 4 showed up. Nope, it just says 31 shares. I mean, it's just insane that it. Okay, let's try and share to a group again. I'm gonna just see if one group makes it. Share. Then we'll go do this. Nope, I just must be somehow. Yep, it's just staying at 31. That's fine. Everybody who's watching right now, we got a couple people right now. Make sure if you're watching, you comment which bourbon, the Peppy or the Van Winkle 12 year, the George T. Stagg, the Old Fitzgerald 19, or the Parker Heritage you want us to open. And then we're going to do a randomizer of everybody who asked us to open whatever the most was asked for, whatever the most people asked for to open. Make sure that we'll do it, and then we're going to do a randomizer. And right now there's just a few people that have done it, right? So yeah. I think what we might do is we'll sign
Only
off.
Got 6 names in the randomizer,
right? And what we might do is sign off the Facebook, and then let it post, and then go see if any of the new comments that we missed. I mean, in the past, Randy and Greg Schneider, sometimes they're commenting and I don't see it. I just don't get to see it. But anyways, Austin Gurley is watching. Hey, Matthew McGuire is watching. Make sure you guys comment which one you want us to open. And and then I'm just poured myself a Yellowstone. We went through the history of the distillery. This distillery we've kind of grown up with too, with Stephen and Paul. We were there in 2019. Me and Roxy were there, and they were just getting out of their they had initially to get through that initial distillery, what they call the 4 or 5 years where you have to wait for your stuff to age. A lot of places do it differently. And Lime Stone Branch sold moonshine, and it became a good seller for them. People were sad when they stopped selling it. And but me and Roxy took the tour. We did some barrel thieving. I think that's the first time we ever thieved a barrel. That's for sure. Carl got okay. Anyways, he's talking. Anyways, and so that's really kind of a cool thing. We were there from the beginning. Also, they started in 2000. Really started 2018 with the Yellowstone brand. And we were there in 2019. So here's cheers to the Armagnac finish. You gonna drink any of your other distillery selects, or are you okay, Mr. Super Nash?
Yeah, I'm drinking just the regular bourbon.
Just the regular? What do you mean the regular bourbon? I don't even see the regular bourbon. Yes? No? All right.
Oh, they blocked me.
Who did?
Facebook. We limit how often you can post, comment, or do other things in a given amount of time in order to help protect the community from spam. You can try again later.
That's probably, you probably did a reel today too, right?
No,
It's-
yesterday.
yeah, it just depends. They're just they are what would you say, very inconsistent. I've found ways around it by adding certain things, but I did a lot of posts today, so I was very active, so it doesn't surprise me that we didn't get it. But what I can do is tomorrow morning I'll share it out, and let's do the live thing. And then what we could do for the people that were listening on, that listen on the podcast, that listen in, we can do another drawing, but we'll mix in anybody else who wants to comment. So for that second one, we'll mix the Facebook and the YouTube people commenting after the live broadcast, and also the people who comment from the audio podcast also who contact us. So we'll send out a total. You'll send out a total of 4 samples. Okay.
No.
What? 3 samples. A total of no. You said okay. You can send 2, and I'll just bow out. I'll give up mine. How about that?
3 samples.
Yeah, it would just be 2 for them, 1 for me, and then 1 for you. 4 total. Right?
I'm not sending my sample out.
No, you're not. I'm not talking about sending samples out. I'm just talking about there'll be 4 total samples. You, me, and 2 samples that you send out.
I'm not sampling mine. There'll be 3 samples, and I'm keeping the bottle.
Yeah, but aren't you going to pour? Okay, you're going to pour up. Okay, so a total of 4 fucking pours, asshole. You, me, and the 2 people we send the samples.
I'm opening a bottle tonight.
Right, and so that'll be the 5th sample. You'll sample to make sure.
I'm going to do the randomizer tonight.
You randomize away, brother. You randomize away
with the people that commented, because that's what we promised.
Okay, well, there's new people watching. We got Pied Punt. You have to be in the United States, because I don't think we can send any samples out of the country. It's illegal to do. So we have to keep people in the United States. And if you comment on one of the whiskeys that Super Nash right now has behind him, go ahead.
We'll show them again. We have the Van Winkle Special Reserve 12-year bourbon. Boom. And we have the 2019 George T. Stagg, 116.9 proof. Weighing in that corner. And weighing in the other corner, we have the old Fitzgerald, 19 years old. Just a young guy, not even of age. And last but not least, we have a Parker's Heritage 132.2 proof double barrel blend.
13 and 15-year-old barrels.
Yep.
So comment on the comments which one
I'd like
you
to
want him to open.
Can I comment? I want to comment 1 for the Parkers.
You don't count.
What? What did you just say?
You don't count. We can't be a part of this.
Hear what he just said. I don't count. I'm gonna drink to that.
Well, I'm gonna comment. Okay.
Wow, lots of corn on that one.
Really?
Yeah, this is just the experimental collection, just the straight bourbon, which is like a this is a 75% corn, 13% rye, and a 12% malt.
Well, let's throw on my reading glasses because that's what we do here. Because if we
Bottle
have,
7 of 141.
this is wow, there's a whole thing on this, but it's not light enough over here, and I'm not going to make people suffer through it. 101 proof bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac casks, and it's Kentucky straight bourbon. So that's what we're looking at. That's what I'm drinking. And I might right before we're getting close.
Hey, great job there, Mr. Jeffrey Mueller. The Van Winkle 12-year comment did not get you in the drawing because you are banned from the drawing.
Yeah, I'm banned from the drawing because I already get one. But don't I get to have a vote? I don't want to be in the drawing. I just want to vote. No, mine doesn't. But you said, why didn't you comment? I mean, you said you were going to comment, but I commented.
I was just lying. But now that you did, I think
if I was a size 12, if I was a size 12, I'd be lying. Here we go. Yes. All right. We got a couple more guys. Let's see. So, I mean, I can't tell, but the rate just went up a little bit. But anybody get it in, get that comment in for one of those 4 bourbons back there. If you don't know what we're talking about, comment what? And that'll at least get you into the drawing because we're about to do that randomizing drawing in a couple minutes.
Or you can do what my buddy Walt commented on when he commented on the reel, and his comment was yes. Yes to all 4.
Yes.
All 4.
All right. So I got 115 proof hand select. They're all 115 proof, aren't they?
Oh,
this
look.
was 102, the one that's set.
Super Nash. Martin Nash commented Parker's Heritage.
So each one of the hand-picked collections are named after dogs from the distillery, correct?
Distillery, yeah. After Stevens' dogs. The ones that are the distillery picks.
Yeah. Let's see. I got Bosley, and I've got Sir Corky, and then this one, which Steven signed, which was before they were doing that, was selected by Lauren and Chelsea.
That's the girls that work in the shop.
Yeah. So which one do you think? Well, that was only 102. So I'm going for Sir Corky.
I like Bosley.
You like Bosley?
Bosley was real good.
Well, if you like Bosley, then I'm going for Sir Corky. Yeah. Michael Bird says, how is everybody? Hello. Hey, so Michael Bird, that was a while back. So he got his comment in. John Walters is watching. Get yours in. Get your comment in for what you want us to. If you don't know what we're talking about, John, just say what, and you're into the drawing, the special drawing. One last time before we go, I'm doing the Bosley. Let's see what it did. So one of the things I've noticed that Yellowstone picks up on these picks is it's a very beam profile. If you haven't noticed, like
Mhm.
I get a little bit of that Booker's profile into that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a little bit of the nutty kind of aspect of it. It's that rich, full. But like the Bosley, actually, I would say someone just ripped off a like on us, so that's kind of cool. But the Bosley actually is pulling off a little bit. The Bosley actually tastes a little bit like the barrel pick of the special. It's like the barrel proof. This one is 198 proof, and Bosley is like the 115 proof of this particular whiskey.
Okay.
I'm getting that a little bit. There's the cinnamon, but the cinnamon's a lot hotter.
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell it's definitely a limestone branch, both of them. All right. So what do you think? You think we're ready to call it on the evening as far as
I think so.
anybody? Last comments, make your comment. Of
Last
whether-
comments.
Go through them one more time and then we'll do it. We'll give them a chance.
One last time. And it looks so far like the Van Winkle Special Reserve 12-year has got 3 votes.
So Aaron Comkle just joined us. Aaron, do you want us to open the 12-year Van Winkle? Do you want us to open
12-year Van Winkle,
the George T. Stagg,
2019 George T. Stagg,
the
16.9 proof, or the Old Fitzgerald Bottled in Bond, 19 years old at 100 proof, or the 132.2 proof Parker's Heritage double barrel of a 13 and 15 year blend bourbon.
so Ray what's his so Aaron says the Old Fitz. There you go. And then Ray Conley just joined us, and hey, he says yo, but if you want us to open one of those 4, let us know, and we are going to randomize. Michael Bird just joined us again. We're going to randomize the people who commented. Aaron's got Old
name
Fitz.
on the
And Ray and Michael Bird says, hey, everyone, we're getting ready to do the randomizing. It looks like still by the thing that the Van Winkle's winning, right? And not including my vote, correct?
Old Fitz for Aaron Comkle. So far, it looks like Van Winkle 3, Parker's 2, and Old Fitz 2.
So, yep, it's like everybody. And then Ray Conley, you did get in. You made your
Ray
comment. I know
Conley.
you didn't. He didn't
All
vote.
you have to do was comment, and
Yep.
you are in for a
And
2-ounce sample of what gets opened.
and hey, Michael Bird. I believe Michael Bird commented early on, correct?
Yep. Michael, your name is in the running for a 2-ounce sample also. So hey, Michael,
All right.
glad you got to join us.
I think we got the people watching. He says Van Winkle 12, right? That's what he did initially, right? No, Marvin Peters is watching. And Michael Bird said Van Winkle 12. That was what he voted. So I think
Did Michael initially vote
or just comment? Okay, Michael, hello.
earlier? Because
It's
I
happening.
don't want to mark it twice.
I'm letting you know. Actually, Michael initially
Whiskey
said
love, Aaron. Whiskey love, brother.
Michael initially said Parker. Now he's putting his. Now Michael's putting in for the Van Winkle 12. So unless there's 2, wait, hold on. Let me see. Michael Bird, BYRD. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. Anyways, Marvin Peters is watching. If you want to put in your vote, it's Van Winkle 12, Old Fitzgerald 19, Parker Heritage Double Barrel, or it is George C. Stagg. You got a couple seconds to put that in. If you comment, you're entered into the randomizer. I know we got a bunch of people. Just make a comment and you're in. All right. Yeah, Michael said he did say Parker earlier. That's pretty funny. Anyways,
well, Parker's has still got 2, Van Winkle's 4, Old Fitz 2.
There we go. So there we go. So I think you got, let's do a 30-second countdown in our brains, and then you got that randomizer ready to go yet?
Yeah, it's ready to go. Names are ready. So well, it's 9:45 and it just clicked over. So it looks like the Van Winkle 12 year is going to be the winner
Of what we're going to open.
of what we're going to open. So, boom. Let's bring out the Scotchy Bourbon Boy Crystal Glencairn, which you can get on our website. I'll let Tiny go ahead and tell you all about it while I'm pulling the tab.
Scotch. Anyways, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check it out. You can pick up Glencairn's there, the Scotchy Bourbon Boy. You could pick up t-shirts like I'm wearing right now, and you can pick up Scotchy Bourbon Balls. We just sent out a batch today. So, check out the website and everything that's good. We're in the process of this year revamping everything, so hopefully we'll be a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more technical. We got a little bit of capital to work with this year, so we'll be upgrading and making everything a better experience. All right, so
All right.
we know that it is the old Van Winkle 12 year. That's a special bottle for me and Super Nash because we drank a good amount that one night, didn't we?
Boom.
There it is. I've got mine up on my way up on my mantle.
And just so there ain't no neck pour.
There you go.
The sweet sound. Yes. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for
Cheers.
tuning in to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and look forward to having a sample of this with.
Here we go. We're going to randomize it
With one lucky person. All right, we are loading the 8 names.
There you go.
Everybody can see.
And the suspense is killing me.
Oh my!
And the dead air time. Here we go. Randomizing away. There we go. The names are spinning. Thanks everybody for commenting and watching on YouTube tonight. I wish we could have gotten some more people, but remember, if you keep commenting on this feed, we will be doing another drawing that will include people from our from the podcast,
All right,
the audio podcast,
I'm gonna
and
hit raffle.
here we go.
Auto.
It's spinning. You should have like a clicker.
Yep. There we go. And the name is.
Well, you spun it again faster. Here it comes. All right. 1, 2. Oh, you did it again. You keep bumping.
Oh, it's
the suspense. You do know you've used this.
Put it at the top.
Aaron
The winner
Comkle
is Aaron
has
Comkle.
won the sample. Chris Thompson was 3 and Andy Beneth was 2nd. Congratulations, Aaron Comkle. You are going to get a sample of Van Winkle 12, and you are invited to be a part of a future podcast. So once we get that sample off to you, Aaron, we've got one more winner. That everybody who didn't win can get into the randomizer. Everybody on the podcast that listened tonight or listens on the audio podcast, or anybody who's watching in the future, I think we'll probably do a list, and tonight's Thursday. We'll run it over the weekend and then get the names and then do a randomizing next Monday. Maybe you can do it in time for the next podcast that I do, so I can announce the winner there. And then we'll work out dates for those 2 people to join us on the podcast. Sound good?
Sound good to me.
All right, everybody. Remember the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We already did the www.scotchybourbonboys.com.
Aaron Comkle, and you need to message me your address and information so I can get that sample out to you. Whiskey love, brother. And cheers.
Yep, whiskey love.
You got that sample of the Van Winkle Special Reserve.
There you go. There you go, folks. We did the www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check us out on all the major podcast formats. Remember, when you do, please listen, like, comment, and subscribe. The comments, and then also on your podcast format, leave us some good feedback. Feedback helps out, makes us more popular. One of the cool things that happened yesterday, when we first 9 months of this podcast, we were averaging less than 300 people per month. Yesterday, we had 309 downloads in a day. So what we were doing the first 9 months, we did in a day. So thank you very much for making us successful and listening. We appreciate it. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. So make sure you check us out in all those formats, and then look for next week. We will be announcing, if you're listening recorded, you can contact us or comment on the Facebook, or contact me on Facebook, and we will put you in a drawing for the other sample of the Van Winkle 12-year and have you on a future podcast. So everybody, thank you very much, Super Nash. I can't say how important you've been, how you jump-started us, launched us, and then supported us throughout. We love you, man. Thanks for coming on. We greatly appreciate having you here with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
Absolutely.
All right. Remember, everybody, good bourbon equals good times and good friends, and go out there and live your life dangerously.
Dangerously. That's right.
Little Steve-O's going to take us out. Yeah, turn up the sound. Oh my God. Here we go.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
Dark cherries.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right, there we go. We're still live on YouTube, and we're still live on Facebook. All you YouTube listeners, if you did comment on YouTube, I will get those comments and put you in that second drawing. So just don't worry that we came up with that second drawing so we could cover all the people who were listening tonight, who weren't able to maybe it didn't show up, your comments, and then anybody who listens in the next over the weekend, comment, let us know, which one. We opened up the Van Winkle, but just let us know you want to be into the next randomized drawing, because that should be a little bit bigger, and we should announce the winner on the next podcast. So thank you very much, everybody, for being. I'm just gonna first get this published so that I do what I always do, get it published. Once I get it going, I'm gonna have a little bit more pour. You gonna open up another one?
Oh,
I knew that.
because look.
Because you've been dying to try them all. George T. Stagg, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yellow limestone branch. That's what it should be called. Limestone. All right. Scotchy Bourbon Boys, save. All right. So that's saving. Oh, you're just pulling out. I think I'm going to have a little bit of this rye, this minor case rye.
Yeah, I got that bottle in there too.
All
but
right.
I'm not gonna have any of that George T. Stagg tonight.
You just opened it so that it's not
it's going on my shelf because I finished off the other one I had, which just happened to be a 2019, just like that one.
Opened it so that it's not it's going on my shelf. All right. Aaron said, hell yeah. Whiskey love, brother. All right. And then Michael Bird said, have a great weekend. Yes, you too, Michael. I'm gonna have some minor. I'm just remonitoring everything that came across on the Facebook. We're still
Van Winkle 12 years, nothing but dark cherries. Like those Luxardo cherries.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. Let's see about that. So Jose Rodriguez and Roger Randall both commented. We had people on YouTube commenting.
Okay.
So we'll throw their names in and then let them know on YouTube on a thing that if they won. Okay.
Okay.
So we actually got comments on YouTube.
All right.
So this is really kind of cool. Getting
Yeah.
a couple comments on YouTube. I don't know how many people watched, but so we'll throw their name in. That's why I wanted to do it. But then once we end this Facebook, there's going to be there's been a bunch of times where Randy never showed up and I look and it's like Greg Schneider's commenting along and he never showed up in the feed. So we'll have to see if there's anybody else to throw in.
Okay.
And then once we do that, but I'm look at Tiny's drinking a rye. Oh,
I like it.
Minor case.
Yeah.
That's been open since we were there. That's the day I bought that.
So it's lost all the ethanol.
Oh yeah.
So it ought to be tasting real good.
It's not as cinnamony as the bourbon. The bourbon was, I don't know why. I just pick up a ton of cinnamon this time on those.
I so like that.
Really dark chocolate. Oh, that would put me under. Wow. This is sherry cask finish rye.
Yeah.
That's
why it's so good.
Yeah, I would have to say that's pretty good for a rye, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did we get anybody else?
I just clicked it off.
All right. Michael Bird said, have a great weekend. Aaron Comkle said he'll hit you up. And then Eric Clausen is watching. We got 4 or 5 people watching at the same time right now. I mean, my son was explaining streaming to me like this. We're live streaming, and he said that the live streamers, in order to get popular, they live stream video games for 4 to 8 hours. They just stream online, and then people will chime in and then find out about them because they're always streaming.
Yeah.
So Eric Clausen, you're late. But just so you know, Eric, it's all right to be late because we have a second chance randomizing
Second
for those
chance drawing for a 2-ounce sample.
And so you have made it in. You're commenting. We'll keep you up to date on you getting a sample of the Van Winkle 12-year. If you are in that next randomizing drawing and we choose your name, we'll send that off. He gives us a thumbs up, but he said I was correct on that. So, technically what we should do is do the podcast and then like on a Friday night, just basically get shit-faced drunk over the next 2 hours on Facebook Live. So people can keep just popping in on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won't care about the YouTube and the Facebook and how long it is. We just want people to get the recognition that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, on a Friday night, get shit-faced drunk on the internet. Yeah, look, as soon as I start saying shit-faced drunk, we get up to 6-7 people watching, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's getting the most tracking. I actually, what I've noticed, Super Nash, right now, it's 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
And the later I start, the more the live views get. So it's like, I thought 8:30 is late, but it obviously isn't for whiskey drinkers.
No.
So
10 to 12, you'll pick up a lot.
Oh, it's just like
I can't tonight.
we had a rough day. Now I know you have to get out of here soon. So I know you've got to get up early, although
it's been all week. I've had 2 early days to where I've been up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock and out of the house. Monday and Tuesday.
So what I'll do is I'll monitor the channels, write down the names, and then send them to you Sunday night.
Yeah.
I'll text them to you so you can put them in the randomizer.
Okay.
I'll plan on podcasting Monday. So if you want to be a part of it, it's fine. But if you don't, you just send out the name up to me and I'll sit on the podcast.
No, holler, send me the link and I'll jump in
on the podcast.
Monday. Yeah, and I'll do the randomizer then.
Okay.
Live on the podcast.
All right, and then I've got some big news coming up from a lot of different distilleries, and there's going to be lots of podcasts. Actually, Tuesday is Molly Brown Spirits out of Colorado.
Okay.
They're going to be on. We've got let's see, what's the name of that one? Old Line. Let me see. I gotta see. It's American single malt. Yep. Old Line American single malt. Now, what's really crazy is I thought for some reason but it's actually distilled in Ohio and barreled and aged and bottled in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. So I'm going to have them on, but distilled in Ohio. I kind of have an inkling of who distills for them. I might know them because there's contract distiller here in Ohio that would do that. And I could be wrong, but we'll find out. And then we also have a couple moonshiners coming on. Callow and another one. And they're sending up samples. I mean, I'm getting samples from a lot of people. So I'm going to be drinking a lot of whiskey. What I'm going to try and do is open them up and analyze them a little bit before I go on air. So that's always a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Check it out. Whiskey's going to be on coming up with me for the Molly Brown, because when he was in Colorado, that's where he met them and got us hooked up with the people there. So,
Okay.
but then the old line, if you remember Tracy Green, when we went to the Kentucky Owl experience at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, where we got to see Tacoma, right? And David Mandel was there. Well, Tracy Green is who sent us the invitation to that soiree, or that introduction, and the whole thing of what's happening at Kentucky Owl. And kind of exciting that she hooked me up with old line spirits. I mean, I'm kind of excited, just keep hooking up and sending us spirits, sending us samples. We'll taste your whiskey, talk about it. I mean,
Absolutely.
what can you do, right?
That's right.
And then so give Aaron a shout out from Happy Hour Liquor and Bar. I mean, you stopped in. You didn't see Aaron that day though, did you?
No. Mm-mm.
Willer's Special Reserve 1.5 months ago to CYPB, Create Your Own, and WFP Weller Foolproof. Yep. All right. He's doing, let me see. I got to get back to this. He's talking to us. This is Tim Mann Jr. and CYPB and Weller Foolproof Special and SP today. What's SP? Store pick. Weller Foolproof store pick. I'm having a blast learning about the industry. Well, yes, thank you. Well, Tim, you were graduating the Buffalo Trace, and the thing about bourbon is, I mean, Buffalo Trace is like a minute part of how big bourbon is. So you've got a lot of fun ahead of you, that's for sure. But yeah, keep learning. Thank you for watching. Check out our regular podcasts. We're on all the major podcast formats, and then also we put them up live on YouTube and Facebook. So thanks for checking in with us. We finished up, but if you want to hear the podcast, you do qualify now for our randomized drawing because you've commented. So that's a cool thing. You got a shot at a sample of
Van Winkle.
Go ahead.
Reserve 12-year.
Yep, there you go. Aaron Comkle's in, and we've got one more ticket into this podcast.
No, Aaron Comkle won. He's not in. He won. He's already got the sample, so he's out of the next one. Yep,
he's in. So we were picking between Stagg Jr. or not Stagg Jr., just George C. Stagg, Old Fitzgerald 19, Parker Heritage Double Barrel, and the Van Winkle, and Van Winkle won, and Aaron Comkle got in. But now you're going to be stay tuned on Monday to find out about. We're going to do a short podcast telling the other person and then between the two of you, we'll set up a date. So I think that should be pretty cool, right?
I think so.
It's like my thing is so wonky. I keep trying to get in and see. It's like telling me who's here, who's not here. Yeah. Okay.
All right, everybody.
Yep. So remember, I'm going to take us off YouTube right now. Here we go. I'll undo this. Stop. Let's see.